that. Come here. You created enough problems. Stop it. Yeah, you should learn your lesson. You should stop eating, man. And like, it just seems to be you keep getting caught. Alright, well, this is Jersey Cat's Fishing Adventures. We're fishing a tournament on Lake Lanier today for a friend so he doesn't lose ground on points. And yeah, we're catching bass. I started the video a little late. We've already caught one. There are some stripers blowing up in the area, but every time I put a top water plug on them, they go right down and they don't come back up. So probably gonna switch over to throwing a bucktail or something like that. Alright, well, back at it. Stick around. Maybe we'll, you know, I told him I'd fish the tournament for him, but I wasn't going to change anything I do or how I was going to fish today. I'm just going to go fishing with a side quest of maybe whatever I catch, you know, helping him in the tournament. So, you know, I'm going to do things my way. I'm not going to let the tournament put any pressure on me. I just want to fish. Well, the area that we're fishing today has been good to me this time of year. Many, many, many years. The biggest striper I've ever seen in my life with my own two eyes was in this exact location. So and me and my old fishing partner have caught a lot of really big fish here in the month of May. The only problem is this spot's never been a lights out numbers kind of place, you know, so I don't know, we'll see. Got our first striper. Yeah. This fight was going to be over quick, but it wasn't. Come on, buddy. Right, there would be stripers on the side of that hump. Oh, Cletus. All right, well, if we get this one in, we're on the board. Hope so. At least like I gotta measure something today, you know. Come on. Come on now. Oh, come on. Stay on. Believe it to be a good one. Don't go that way. Go the other way. It's a good one. hit like a striper, don't know. Thought it was gonna be another bass. Oh, Cletus. Get up here. Yeah, this is a good fish. And that's a heavy action rod too, so it tells you the kind of fight I'm putting on. Come on. Come on. He's a good fish. I don't know how big, but it's pretty big. Come on. Now it's just bulldogging me. Come on, buddy, come up here. I at least got to see you to break my damn heart. Come on. Holy yeah. Come on, come up here. Don't come off. Don't come off, don't come off, don't come off. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, we got him. Oh. Woo! Holy crap. That's the biggest striper I've got this year. By a mile. 28.7. About that, huh? Out of them apples right there. Boom! Look at that. There we go. Boom! Biggest striper I've got in a few years right there. I'm shaking. Come on, go. You gonna make it? Come on. I know I kept you out of the water for a while. Come on, big girl. Come on. Come on, honey. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, baby. Don't do this to me. Come on. The fight was too long. Come on. Come on. All right. Do it, honey. Go, go, go. Don't die. Come on. Do it. Ah, oh, thank you, Lord. Yes. Sweet. so happy. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, Lord, for letting me catch that fish this morning. Like I said, I'm fishing a tournament for my buddy too, so that's a good way to start the tournament. Yeah, I had no idea that striper was that big when the way it bit. It bit like a bass, and it kind of fought like a bass up until I got it within range about, I don't know, 50 feet of the boat, and then it was like, you know what? I don't want to be caught. I'm gonna have to edit out quite a bit of words from that one. Been a while since I caught one that was approaching 40 inches. Now I want a 40-incher. Man, I'm so happy I got that fish. You've no idea. All right, y'all. I figured I'd throw in a couple details about the way I was pulling my rigs this morning. I pulled the split shots off of my outer lines, and I was running them 40 foot back from the board with just the biggest herring I had in the bait tank. But I ran them free. No split shots, no hindrance to their natural motion whatsoever. And I also did that because I knew I was going to be pulling these fish up shallow next to points and humps at times too. So that's another reason why I took the split shots off, because I knew these baits might go from anywhere 70 foot deep, you know, out over open water, and then these fish might be in 3 feet of water, you know, 5 minutes later. So, excuse me, not the fish, the bait. So I decided to pull the split shots off the outside boards, because the outside boards were the ones that I was going to kick way up onto the points and the humps that I was fishing. And that's the rod that caught the big fish. So that's the rod that paid off, was that big flat line with the big herring with no split shot on it. And I think when that fish hit, that bait was probably in about 5 feet of water. So that fish was in 5 feet of water at 9 a.m. You know what I mean? And it was just one fish. We only got one bite up on that hump. It was just one big old fish. That's how the big fish was caught. Caught on the herring, no split shot, 40 foot back from the board in about 5 feet of water, pulling the board at around 0.8 miles per hour. Hope that helps somebody. Coming. All right, so we made another pass. We didn't get another bite. We're gonna call it. We're gonna go look for another area. Problem with this spot is, as the day goes on, it becomes a major thoroughfare for boats, and jet skis. So we just gonna get on down the road. With that being said, we came here for one big bite, and by George, we got it. All right, let's go find some fish. All right, we're spot number 2, folks. Spot number 2. You ain't looking so hot. Yes, sir. It's a good one too. It's a good one. It's another good one. Come on. Stay buttoned up, buddy. Don't come off. We got a tournament riding on you, pal. Come on. It's another good one. It's another good fish. We got trees, but they don't look like they're going to be a problem, I don't think. As long as this fish stays up. Come on. Come on, don't come off. Don't come off. Come on. Please, help me out with this. This is a good one. I'm feeling pressure now that I've got a good fish. I want to win. Come on, buddy. Just come up. Play nice. Play nice, that's all. We need a good 30-incher, that's all. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, buddy. fighting really good. He's not that big. Not that big. Come on. Yeah, we got our 2. Everything after this is gravy, right? Boom. Number 2. All right. As good as it's gonna get. Right. Well, turns out I did something really dumb. Our tournament number for today was Z769, and I knew that. And when I wrote down on my paper, as you can see, I wrote 7, like a 7 instead of a Z. I was in a rush trying to, holy crap, look at these waves coming at us. Yeah, I might have just cost myself the win. You know, I wish I wasn't even fishing this tournament, because now it takes a great fish and like kind of like taints it. If I was just out here fishing for myself, that I would have been I'd have been ecstatic still. But instead, now I feel like I failed. Caught a beautiful fish, caught a nice kicker fish, had a great weight, and my dumb ass didn't finish out the Z. You know, I probably would have had a, you know, I'd have wrapped it up all the way too. I would have had big fish most likely and the tournament win. So it would have been a scoop. All right, so here's the part that gets kind of painful for me. Here's the story. I got to the ramp that morning and I was like, I don't know, 25, 30 minutes late getting to the ramp. And then when I got to the ramp and I was getting ready to launch, I realized I didn't have nothing to write down our number on. These tournaments are live release tournaments. What you have to do is the 2 fish, you know, you put on your measuring board, and, you know, my measuring board is 44 or 45 inches. So if I have a 35-inch fish and a 25-inch fish, I have 60 inches total. That's my total points, is 60 points. So it's your 2 biggest fish, total length combined, is the points you had for the tournament. But in order to keep people from cheating and whatnot, you know, what we have to do is you have to write down the number on a placard and put it on top of the fish when you take the picture of the fish on the measuring board. And they give that number out the morning of the tournament at Lions Inn. That way nobody can take an old picture from past fishing trips and try to submit it as a current picture. I mean, it's not foolproof, but, you know, the whole thing about fishing a club is it's, you know, we're all friends. We're supposed to just hang out and have a good time and have some friendly competition. If you're cheating in a club tournament, it's kind of low. So, you know, you got to have the right number or else it's disqualified. And what happened was I got to the ramp late. I was under pressure. I was already upset. I got to the bait shop that morning, and the bait shop was packed way more than I thought it was going to be. You know, the tournaments in the wintertime, there's only a few people fishing them anyway. So I wasn't really expecting to see that many people, but I guess I should have, since it was, it's springtime, it's warm, everybody's fishing again. So when I got to the bait shop, there was a long line. By the time I got to the ramp, I was 30 minutes late, and then guess what? I don't have a way to write down the number so I could put the number on the fish when I take a picture of it. And I dig out all through my truck, all through my boat. I don't have a marker. I don't have nothing to write on. I'm like, ah! So what do? I had to take off. I had to load the boat back up. I had the boat unstrapped. I had everything in it, and I had to strap the boat back up, and then I had to run back up to the gas station about 10 minutes up the road. Get to the gas station. I asked the cashier behind the desk, because they don't sell magic markers at this gas station. Do you know how hard it is to find a magic marker at 6 a.m.? It's not easy. But okay, so I asked the cashier, I'm like, hey, can I borrow your magic marker? I need to write something down real quick. She's like, okay. I'm like, it's for a fishing tournament. Like, I need it for, like, a security number. Oh, she's like, all right, that's not too weird. So she hands me the marker, and I'm looking at my phone while I'm writing down the number. Now, I just want you to know, when I was growing up, my phone number from the time I could remember till I was, like, in my mid-20s was 769-8967. Remember that, 769-8967. And I guess when I was looking at my phone, muscle memory took over. I was rushed, I was tired, I was, stressed, and I just and took off. Handed her back her marker and went fishing. Still didn't notice it, put the placard on top of the fish, and what did I write down? I wrote down 769. There you go. Easy to remember, right? But the problem was the number was Z. 69, not a 7. It was a Z, not a 7. And I guess muscle memory took over, and I just wrote 769. For years, I wrote 769 down, 769-8967 down on so many different pieces of paper when I was a kid and a teenager and, early adult in my 20s. I used it as passwords early on many years ago. I don't anymore, so you could use all the 769s you want. You won't find it in a password. And the only thing I could assume is I just brain farted, muscle memory took over, and I wrote 769. Now, I was high on the hog because both of the fish I caught in this tournament were both the big fish of the tournament, The 28-pounder was almost, if I would have pinched the tail, I would have got 38 plus inches out of it. And the smaller, like 10, 12-pound fish was over 30 inches. He was lean, but he was over 30 inches. He was 30 and a half, and I probably could have got another quarter inch out of him if I would have pinched the tail. And the big fish for the tournament after I got DQ'd was 30 and a half. So both of my fish were like the big fish of the tournament. And as far as I know, both of those fish, my combined length was probably the biggest combined length in quite a while in the club. And so I was high on the hog, man. I'm proud I posted my fish. And I even talked a little smack, used a little House of Pain, lyric line in one of my posts on our group text, our group page on Facebook. If you came to win, you battle me, it's a sin, blah, blah, blah. And then I think one of my fellow club members wrote back like, it's going to be a sin if you don't make that number right. I didn't know what he was talking about. And then I looked closer, and I looked at the number for the thing, and I was like, oh my God, I wrote down the wrong number. Oh my God, I wrote down the wrong number. No! And yeah, and the rules are, if the number's not right, it's no questions asked. It's a DQ. And, at the time, I was upset about it. I was like, that's stupid, in my head. I'm like, I knew I was disqualified and I knew they weren't going to overturn it. But I was like kind of upset still because it's like, you knew what the intent was. You could see I was, clearly trying to write a Z69, but I just brain farted and, didn't finish out the Z and wrote a 7 by accident. What kills me about it is if they would have chose, it's a random number generator, so they didn't choose anything. A computer, app chose the number. But if that app had chosen any other letter other than a Z at the start of that, I would have had it right and, it would have counted. But the fact that it was a Z in that motion, just... that muscle memory, man, it'll get you. So that's what happened, man. I wrote down the wrong number, and it actually got me DQ'd. I was upset about it, but I didn't fight it much. I mean, I didn't really fight it at all. I just questioned, I sent our club president, tournament director. I'm like, so that's it, right? It's done deal. And they're like, yeah, it's a done deal. I'm like, that's what I thought. And then at this time, and I know like the one guy's like, well, there's still time left. Or, I think there was... I pretty much had the tournament wrapped up by 9:30. Like in order to be beaten, somebody would have had a pretty epic day to beat me. And what had happened was I just went for the 2 fish, you know, so I didn't go to an area where I thought I could catch a lot of fish. I went to an area where I knew I had like a 3-hour window in the morning to catch 2 good fish. If I was going to get bites, they were going to be decent fish. So that was my game plan. It worked out. And, yeah, my light just fell. Yeah, so let me get back to where I was before my light fell. Yeah, so I knew I had an opportunity to catch 1 or 2 good fish that morning, but that would be the end of my window. And by the time I realized I was disqualified and my fish didn't mean anything as far as the tournament went, it was already like 10:30. And as you'll see here, it was already, there was boats everywhere. I just stopped and I looked around me and it was like wake boat, jet ski, cabin cruiser, 4-foot waves, 3-foot waves, all coming at me. And I was hot out and I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm going home. I'm disappointed. Feel sick to my stomach, you know, because if I had won the tournament and got the big fish, there was actually a decent amount of people that fished that tournament. I think we were upwards around 20 entrants for that tournament. So, you know, give or take a few people. I think it was between 17 and 20. I don't remember. But I would have got me about 500, 550 bucks somewhere in there with the big fish pot and all that stuff. And I was actually going to use that money to buy a nice used bait tank for the boat, nice insulated tank. So, you know, I was disappointed because in my mind I'd already had that money spent on the bait tank. I was actually looking at bait tanks while I was fishing knowing I had won the tournament, you know. So when I found out I didn't win the tournament, I was actually pretty disappointed, you know, because it kind of cast a black cloud over the great morning that I had catching nice fish, you know. Caught the biggest fish I caught from Lake Lanier in 6 years and then followed it up with another quality fish and pretty much, you know, put the icing on the tournament by 9:30 a.m. just to find out an hour later that none of it counted. Yeah, it hurt. It hurt. But, you know, I'm a man, and I knew it as soon as I seen that the number wasn't right. It was game over for me in winning that tournament. You know, I was disappointed, but rules are rules, and they're there for a reason. They're there to keep chaos from, you know, ensuing. So, was what it was, man. Sucked to have the best day of, you know, best morning of, you know, big fish, striper fishing on Lake Lanier that I've had in a few years, only for 2 hours later for it to be wiped away because of missing a ½ inch of letter. You know, that little cost me 500 bucks. 500 right there, done. And yeah, you know, like for me, I have the luck. I have the monkey paw luck. We'll just say that. You know, where like you say, I want to win $1 million. And then the next day you get hit by a dump truck, but you win $1 million settlement, but you're paralyzed from the neck down. That's kind of luck I got, you know. I want to see my dead grandmother again. And she comes back as a zombie, you know. But you've seen her again, but she's a zombie now. That's the kind of luck that I got. I have the greatest luck, but it's mixed in with this weird, twisted version of good luck. That's just my life. Always has been. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. That's the story of my greatest day that got wiped away because of a technicality. It was a DQ. I didn't cheat or anything like that. I wasn't trying to cheat, but you know, rules are rules, man. I knew the minute that number wasn't right, it was game over for me. It sucked, but hey, that's the way life is. But yeah, until next time, I'll see y'all later. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. I hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry for my attitude at the end. Like I said, I was disappointed, but hey, you know, it is what it is, man. When you went from winning $500 to no dollars in a matter of 2 minutes, you know, it's kind of an emotional roller coaster. You're here, you know, you got your chest poked out, you're feeling big and bad, you know, ego got pumped up a little bit. My big head already, you know, got a little bit bigger. And then, yeah, none of it mattered. None of it mattered. I mean, it mattered to me. I caught a nice fish, but it still sucks. Like, you know, had I caught like 2 32-inch fish, which would have won the tournament, and then an hour later they said, hey, man, they're DQ'd, they don't count. I'd have been like, ah, crap, you know, but I wouldn't have been like, I would have been disappointed, but I wouldn't have been like saddened by it. You know, the fact that I caught the biggest fish I've caught from Lake Lanier in a few years, you know, I've caught a lot of 30-plus pound striped bass out of Lake Lanier. A lot of 30-plus pound striped bass from Lake Lanier. And, you know, this is the first one that I've got approaching 30 pounds in, you know, quite a few years since the 2010s. In a tournament, no less. And then it didn't count. So it sucks so bad. But yeah, I'm just rambling. Until next time, I'll see y'all later. Just Jersey Catch Fishing Adventure. And if you get time, check out CaptainMax.com. That's where you can find the planer boards and the rigs I'm using in the videos. Not to mention, Captain Max is a great guy. People ask me why, what the sponsorship is. He's a friend of mine who decided to give me a little street cred and offer me, a sponsorship to help, build up my channel. And of course I took it. I like the guy. He's, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. Honest guy, makes a great product. He's a great guy, loads of information. You ask him a question, be prepared for a 20-minute fine detail answer. He's that kind of guy. And, that's how it is. And Humminbird, I have friends that work in Humminbird. Love the guys, great guys. So that's where those two things come from. I'm not making tons of money off of them. I'm not shilling for them. They're friends of mine. I like the products. I use the products. There you go. That's what that's about. Until next time, I'll see y'all later.